you are. Sorry, I had the camera the wrong way round. Oh, how are you, everybody? Oh gosh, I've been running around like a blue ass fly today. It's not been fun at all. How you all doing? Everybody okay? Hang on, let me just get this camera sorted. Here we go. That's a bit steadier, isn't it? So we are still waiting for some very important deliveries to arrive so that we can finish like 100 odd orders, and they've still not turned up. I had a text message at like 5 to 9 this morning to say they were going to be delivered between 9 and 10, and so I had to run around the house like a crazy person to get dressed quickly because I was still in my jammies. I was still just padding around and get over to the shop, and it still hasn't arrived. So I'm not happy bunny. Not happy bunny at all this morning. So you'll have to excuse the dodgy hair, and I've just stuck some slap on quickly because I didn't even have time to blow dry my hair this morning or anything. So it's a right mess. So anyway, enough of my whinging. Everybody's coming online, which is lovely. Excuse me, I'm going to slip my water. I hope you've had a slightly more relaxing morning than I've had, because I'm not having a good day. So we're going to do a nice little bit of sewing, get it out of our systems, not worry about what's going on outside there. Sarah's over in the shop in case this delivery turns up. So nice little bit of sewing. Calm down a bit. Okay, so we're going to do, what's this, week 4? Wow, that's gone quick, hasn't it? Week 4 of the block of the week, and we've got 2 blocks for you today. So, hi everybody. Oh, everyone's coming online, which is fab. So hopefully you got the cut instructions yesterday. I did put them on the Facebook page, and there was the cut instructions for the 2 blocks. I'm going to show you some variations. So if you want to, because I'm making 2 of everything, because obviously I'm making one to show you guys and then making one step by step. So I'm making 2 of everything. Hi guys. So I've done a couple of variations of the blocks so that you can see that you can play with them a little bit, all right? So what we're going to do, I'm going to flip you around. Okay, and no sound. Ooh. Okay, can everybody else hear me? Is it just Marilyn's got no sound? Marilyn, make sure that you haven't got your camera on mute, okay? And put your volume up. Can everybody else hear me? You must be able to, because you're all telling me that you understand what I'm saying. So Marilyn, check your sound, lovely. Check your volume on your phone. Okay. Right, I'm going to flip you around. Time for Drew. There he is. Hi. Okay, and then I'm going to flip you around. Hi guys. Here we go. So my cameraman's ready. So we're going to do 2 blocks. Okay. So we're going to do the Cheats card block. Okay. Yours might not look like this at the end. Okay. This was my first one when I was working out the sizes and the samples and stuff, and it didn't come out quite big enough for the 12.5, so I cut it down and put a border on it so I wasn't wasting the fabric. If that happens to yours, I can tell you how to do this, okay? I cut it down to, I think it was 9.5, and then put a border, okay? Yours should end up, hopefully, because I've got the measurements right, or look like that with no border. But there's no reason you couldn't put a border on it as well, okay? So this is the Cheats card block. Okay, so a card trick. So card trick block is a really traditional block, but it's traditionally done with like half square triangles and quarter square triangles, and you're working a lot on the bias. This is this way. You don't. It's no biases. It's all nice and easy. And then the other one we're going to do is the bento box. Okay. Now I've done mine in 2 colours. The instructions I gave you were for 1 colour. Okay, so I'm actually going to do the sample with you today in 1 colour so you can see, and the cutting instructions of 1 colour. But I've done this one in 2 so that you can see that once you've got the block, you can play with it, all right? And you can add as many colours and stuff in as you like. So this is the bento block. We're going to start though with the card trick. Okay, so there are of course written instructions on the website, £2 each, and you can just pay for them on the website, and then I can email them to you. Okay, so there's instructions for both blocks. So I'm just going to get rid of all the bento block stuff, so that's out of the way for you, and we're just going to work on the card trick. There we go. I'll move all this out of the way. There we go. So for your card trick block, you should have 4 different coloured fabrics, okay, whatever colours it is you're doing, 4 coloured fabrics, okay. And from each of the coloured fabrics you should have a 2.5 by 4.5 and a 2.5 by 2.5, okay. So you should have 4 different fabrics like that with a 2.5 by 4.5 and a 2.5 inch square, yeah. So hopefully you've all got that. And then, oh Drew, was I putting that in the wrong place for you? Sorry. And then you should have 4 2.5 inch squares, okay. And then you should have 2 7-inch squares that you cut in half, so you've got 4 triangles, okay. Does that all make sense? Yeah. Drew, can you try and hold the camera straight rather than down at an angle? Perfect, thank you. It's all right, I was watching the video yesterday and there's some really odd angles going on and it wasn't, so you need to be a bit straighter up. Okay. Can't get the staff nowadays, obviously. So hopefully you've got all that ready. If you have, we can start sewing. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take just your 2.5 coloured squares like that, the 4 of them, and we're going to make a little 4 patch. Okay, I'm just going to.
Says she likes your hat, your headband. Did you make it?
No, I didn't make it. I bought it last summer, but frankly, it's hiding the grey because I didn't have time to do my hair this morning. So yeah, it's just hiding the grey. So I'm just going to. They were a bit crumpled, so I'm just going to give those a quick press. Okay, so we're going to make a little 4 patch. It doesn't matter what order they go in, as long as you follow that order later. Okay, so I'm just going to put this together. So I'm going to whip over to the sewing machine, and I'm just going to move this out of the way a second, like that. Whip over to the sewing machine. Oh, I've got lots of wires down here today. And we're going to make a 4 patch. Okay, so excuse me, itchy eye. Oh, hay fever is so bad at the minute. So I'm going to take any 2 right sides together, and we're going to stitch down. Got my 1/4 inch foot on, normal stitch length. Oh, no! Oh, stupid machine, what are you doing? There we go, got it. Had my 1/4 inch foot on, forgot to change my needle position. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to put those 2 together, and then I'm going to chain piece and put these 2 together. I'm going to move my water out of the way, and this as well, and then hopefully Drew can get clearer shots. Okay, and then I'm going to put these 2 together. There we go. And I'm just going to iron them out. And I'm obviously going to iron them in opposite ways so that I can nest them nicely. Okay, so let's press those out, and then I'm going to put them together like that, and make sure you really nest those at that centre seam, because that helps with the illusion of this block. So you remember with nesting, you want to make sure they almost click in together, so you've got one seam going one way and one going the other. Okay, and then I'm going to stitch down 1/4 inch down this side. There we go. So there's my first little 4 patch, alright? All done. And do you remember that little trick we did when we were talking about 4 patches the other day, where I just take out those couple of stitches there, just break those couple of stitches on the seam. Hopefully you remember how we did that. Just got a pair of scissors. Oh my good, there's my little scissors. Ah, cool, thank you. There we go. So like that, which means that when I iron it out, this one will go one way and that will go the other, and you get a much nicer, flatter seam. Okay, like that. Just press that. Okay, and there's my little 4 patch. Okay. Oh, even I'm quite impressed with that centre point, actually. That's pretty good. Right, so that's step 1. Everybody okay with that so far? You're all okay with that? Brilliant. So what we're going to do is we're going to go on to step 2. So I'm going to move back over here just a second so you can see this a bit easier. Okay. What you want to do is think about your fabrics. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. It doesn't matter what order they're in, as long as you think of top left is 1, top right 2, 3, 4. So in your head, mentally name them 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So what I want to do is I want to get number 3, which is this one, and number 2, which is this one. So these are my two. So top right, bottom left. Okay, and I'm going to stitch on my corresponding number 2 fabric this side. Sorry, corresponding number 3 fabric that side. So can you see they're touching each other like that? And then my corresponding number 2 fabric this side. So they're touching each other like that. Okay. Right. So again, back to the machine. I'm going to sew those on. Okay. So stay wide, Drew. You don't need to come close to this. And again, all I'm going to do is doing exactly the same 1/4 inch all the way down.
Gina Smith says, "Hubby still says, can he still get cake even though it's an online class?"
Oh, yeah. I wish. I'm missing Jackie's cake desperately. Desperately missing Jackie's cake. I haven't had any good cake for ages. Do you know? I won't say I'll put some in the post to you because A, I haven't got any, and B, I think it'd be a bit squished. Okay, so there we go. So I've added number 3 onto one side and then number 2 onto this side. Again, all of this is in the written instructions. Okay. I'm going to sew it from that direction so I can keep control of that seam. There we go. Just lining them up. And away we go again. So you should end up with something that looks like that. Okay, and this time I'm going to press the seams towards the larger rectangles of fabric. Okay, again, that's just about reducing bulk. And then roll that out and press them. Okay, so we've got something that looks like that. So you're going to put that to one side for a moment, and now you want to take the other two rectangles, the 2.5 by 4.5. So that should be 1 in 4. Okay, and your 2.5 inch squares. Okay, in your background fabric. And what you're going to do is we're going to put a 2.5 inch square on both ends of these rectangles. Okay, so we're going to do that on both. So just going to chain piece these away, and while I'm chain piecing, I'm going to chat an Amy at you. So what have you all been up to? Anything exciting? What are you all working on at the moment? I know Sandra is working on a bear quilt. She was showing me some pictures earlier online, which looks fantastic. Are you finishing projects? Are you starting new stuff? Are you being naughty and starting new stuff without finishing projects? Let me know what you're doing. Anybody up to anything nice? How you all doing? Any comments, Drew?
Not yet.
Not yet? No? Okay, well do let me know, ladies, if there's anything. Either you're not understanding about this, or tell me what you're up to. Alleviate my stress a little bit, because I'm having a very stressy morning with this delivery. So there we go. So one of the 2.5 inch background squares on both sides, like that. And there we go. Okay. So lost my little scissors. There they are. And again, I'm now just going to press these out. Okay, and because I want them to nest with these, I pressed this one towards the fabric, the coloured rectangle. So I'm going to do the same. So I'm going to press these towards the coloured rectangle as well. Okay. So, oh no, wrong way. See, that's me saying I'm going to press it towards the rectangle.
Gina
like
says
that.
doing these blocks as a sample isolation group.
Ah, nice. A sample. Yeah. Yes, absolutely. It's just nice, isn't it? It'd be a little memory of a not such a good time, but of something that's been quite important in all our lives, really, isn't it? This is it's an odd little time at the moment. So.
Kate said she's made scrub bags and headbands, and I'll make him bread in the kitchen. Smells lush.
Oh, no. Oh, fresh bread. I bet it smells amazing in your house at the moment. Okay, so what we're going to do now, hopefully you guys can see this, I'm going to move this so you can see it a bit better, hopefully.
Marilyn says she's making glass cases, which she'll send a photo later.
Ah, lovely. Well done. Oh, that'd be cool. So what we're going to do now is we're going to add these ones onto the piece that we did a minute ago. And again, you want to make sure that they're touching their corresponding square. So can you see? So this one's touching that one, so it's going to go that side, and vice versa. Okay, so you're going to get that illusion. And you want to nest these points up again. So I'm going to put this one on first. And I really want to nest that little point there. Make sure those points are really in. And you know I'm not a pinner, but I probably would just put a pin in these now because it does help with the illusion if these points match as near as damn it. Okay.
Fiona says she's hard quilting a quilt at the moment. Therapeutic, but your machine would be much better. Much quicker, sorry. And then Meg is crocheting a spunny for each of the girls.
Ah, lovely.
Struggling to embroidering the face.
Embroider the faces. Yeah. Cool. Oh, well, maybe we'll try and do something. I will try and do something about embroidering faces. It's not an easy thing to get right, and it's not something I'm particularly brilliant at, but I'll have a little look for some techniques, or maybe post some videos of some people who do it better than I do. Okay. So I'm just going to add these ones on down to the sides now. And again, just making sure that those seams are still going in opposite ways. Okay. Like that. And then this one is going on the other side. So I'm going to pop that one onto there. And again, nest that seam up, both sides. Make sure, oh, see, that's not quite right. There we go. It's better. And that's that one there. Okay. And then I'm going to sew down this one. Again, just make sure that that seam is still going the right way. There we go. So you're all doing okay with this so far? Is anybody actually sewing along, or are you just watching?
Maria asks, were small squares ironed in or out?
The little ones in the centre, those ones, those I ironed one way either way so that I could nest them here. Okay, so you can see, hopefully, this pair I ironed that way, and this pair I ironed that way. And then when I joined them to here, I ironed them towards the squares, okay? It doesn't matter which way you iron them as long as they're opposite when you nest together, okay? You know, it's not I always try and iron where possible towards the bigger piece of fabric, because you've got, like with this, I've got lots of little seams there. So if I'm ironing it towards that fabric, you've got more space, where if you do it the other way, I'm doubling back up on this. Okay. So that now is the centre of the card trick done. Oh, hot, hot, hot. Gosh, that does get, this little iron does get hot. Watch your fingers a bit. Okay. Oh.
Jenny says she's baking a cake as it's Rachel's birthday, and bread, made 9 headbands and almost finished the Dresden quilt? Dresden.
Dresden quilt. Lovely. Well done. Oh, happy birthday to Rachel as well. I hope she has a nice day, even though we're asked all in isolation. So
she's also sewing along.
Cool. So that's the centre of your block, okay? But traditionally, the card trick is on point. So we need to do this to make it on point, which means we're going to add the triangles on to put this block onto point, okay? So easiest way to do that is you've got your 7-inch squares, which we cut in half to get 4 triangles. You want to find the centre, okay? So what I'm doing is I'm folding it along this long edge and finding the centre there. Again, just, you only need a little crease just with your fingernail. And then you want to find the centre of your block as well. So I'm going to fold that in half and find that centre bit there. And line those centres up like that. And I would, again, definitely pop a pin in. I don't, you know, as I keep saying, I don't normally pin, but now and then it's important to keep that in the centre so you've got the same amount overhanging. And you want to do that on the opposite side as well. Okay, so you're going to work opposites. So I'm going to fold this one in half, like that, and make a little crease. And then again, fold this one in half and make a little crease. And then line up those 2 creases like that. And then we're going to stitch them down. Okay, so I'm going to stitch this down 1/4 inch again all the way down. Here we go. So, how did you all get on with the block last week with your Drunkard's Path? I saw a couple of them. I haven't seen many though. So, how did you all get on? Did you find it, was it challenging or was it easier in the end? I've seen a couple of samples, but not many. So do send me some pictures if you've done that one, or let me know how you feel about it. Okay, because it's, you know, curves can be a bit scary, but hopefully having a go at that Drunkard's Path will sort of cure you of that fear a little bit. Okay, just sewing down like that. My machine's really noisy today. Maybe I'm just oversensitive today. Like that. And then you're going to press that out. I'm going to take those pins out, like that. Oh. There we go. And then just press that out. And again, I would press it out towards the triangle because that's the bigger piece of fabric, so there's less bulk. Sometimes you have to do it the other way, but as a general rule, that's what I tend to do. That or the dark side. You know, if it's the darker fabric, always go with the darker. But if you're trying to reduce bulk in the seams, go towards the larger fabric. So you've now got this block like this, okay? And we're going to put the other two on the opposite sides. So just like we did beforehand, I'm going to find the centres.
Gina says she's just finished one version, but I've hand sewn it.
Ah, cool. Oh, with the Drunkard's Path. Oh, fair play. Yeah, I mean, it's nice to do a bit of hand sewing now, isn't it? Now and then.
Then Marion says challenging, haven't put it together yet. The squares that is.
Oh, that's okay. As long as you've had to go at those curves, go for it. Okay.
Linda says she's struggling to square up.
Right. Okay. If you're struggling to square up, give me a shout, okay? And I'll try and send another little video to you sort of individually, because I don't want to do another live on it because obviously we did it last week. But if you are struggling to square up, I'll try and do a little video later that I can send out to people, okay? Right, so done that little crease in the centre of both to line them up again. And can you see, hopefully you can see this. Can you see that the triangle goes right over this one, okay? So we're going to start stitching here all the way across so that it overlaps the triangles you put on previously. So I'm going to just, that moved. Hey, see, reason to pin it sometimes. And we're going to pop this down like this. Okay. All the way down. I always tend to just lift the little guard just as I'm hitting that dog ear so that it goes underneath so that it doesn't go off skew. Okay, so that's one. And then we're going to do the same on the other side. Like that. And pop that one down in the centre. And away we go again. So I'm going to do this side. And then the block is nearly complete. And this is why I did 2 blocks this week, because I really like both of these blocks. They're really effective, and they're really effective by themselves as well. When you start putting these together, you get all sorts of different secondary patterns happening. But they are quite simple blocks, so I thought that's why we'd do 2. Okay, next week I got a bit of a challenge for you. I'm not going to give you any clues, just that it's going to be a bit of a challengey one. Not to scare you or anything, obviously. Okay, there we go. And then what I'm going to do is just iron, grab the iron and iron that out. Press it out, don't iron as ever, press it out. Okay, and this side. Try not to stretch it. And there, a final little press in the centre. Okay, so I'm going to move over so you guys can see this, hopefully. Just put that there a second on the flat. There is your block done. Okay, obviously you've got little dog ears, bunny ears, whatever you want to call them here. You would then square that up, use your 12.5 inch ruler, okay? Use your 12.5 inch ruler over the top, and square it up. Just make it nice and square, because obviously these are on the bias, so you know they will be slightly wonky. Square it up. If you want to put a border around it, okay, like this one I did, which I quite like actually. I mean, it was originally supposed to look like this, but I'd got the measurements of this wrong, so it didn't quite come up to 12.5. So I put a little border around it, which I quite like. So what I did was square this up to 9.5, and then I put a 2-inch strip either side all the way around, and then ironed it all out, and then squared it up to 12.5. It just, I think, just frames it a little bit if you want to, but you don't have to. It works just as well like that. Okay, so that's your card trick without any quarter square triangles or half square triangles. That's your card trick block. How's everybody managed with that one? Anybody got any questions, or should I go straight on to the second one?
Linda says, she says, "I'll wait, thanks, no rush."
Okay.
But that's it so far.
Okay. Everybody all right? Yeah? Cool. Everybody understand what they're doing with that block? Remember, you can just watch me back at your leisure, or you can buy the written pattern, okay, for that one. So I'm going to pop that one out of the way, and we're going to have a go at the bento block. All right, so move all that out of the way. Here we go. Move this back over so you guys can hear me again. So bento block, like I said, the instructions I gave you on cut instructions was for a one colour one, which is what it is traditionally. Very traditionally, it was just done 2 colours. Okay. However, I was playing with some scraps, and I thought I'd show you the fact you could do it in 2 colours, you could do it in 3 colours, because you could do this bit here in a 3rd colour if you wanted. Okay, so have a play with it. Once we're going to do one just in 1 colour, but then have a play with it and see what you think. All right. So back to the bento blocks. I'm going to turn this around so I can remember my cut instructions. So out of my background fabric, you should have 2 6.5 by 2 inch strips, rectangles. Okay. You should have 4 2.5 by 4.5 rectangles. And then you need 4 2.5 by 2.5 inch squares. Okay. So that's out your background. And then out of the coloured fabric, you need exactly the same. So 2 6.5s, 4 4.5s, and 4 2.5s. Okay, all 2.5 inches wide. So you could use jelly roll strips for this if you wanted, if you've got some spare, or cut them in your colour theme. Okay, so I'm going to put aside the 6.5s and the 2.5s for now. Okay, and what I want to do is I want to take 2 of these and 2 of these. Okay, and you're going to put both of these like this. Okay, so can you see they're both with the colour one side, the background one side and the colour the other. And then you want to do 2 the opposite way. Okay, so you're going to do two pairs like that. Okay, make sense so far? So I've got 2 that colourway with them sat that way round, and 2 that way round. Now when you're sewing them, it doesn't matter which way. I've only done it like this in case you're using directional fabrics. If you're using non-directionals, just sew them all together, but then we're going to turn them when we sew the next bits on, okay? But if you're using directional fabrics, which I am on this one, okay, I want to make sure that you want 2 that way and 2 that way, okay? If it's non-directional, it doesn't matter. You can just do 4 the same and we'll turn them, all right? So I'm going to go back to the machine. I'm going to quickly chain those together. So I want that one that way and that one that way. Ooh, that might be my door. That, I'm hoping, is my massive delivery. I'm hoping my husband's going to come in a minute and give me the thumbs up. Yes, I can see an orange vest. Oh, ladies, I'm so excited. So if you're watching this, it's arrived by the looks of it. Yay! Right. Okay, so now we're going to stitch this down, okay? So we're going to stitch 2 one way, and I'm only doing this because I've got directional fabric and I want them to be kind of, you know, directional. But if you've got non-directional, they can be all the same way. So those 2, and then these 2, I've got the colour on the top. Was that making sense, ladies? Does that make sense what I've been saying?
So. No one said anything yet.
No one said anything? Okay, so I'm just going to snip these apart quickly. Ooh, that was turned around. There we go. I'm dropping stuff all over the place now. So, and then what I want to do is just iron this out. And again, you be a Jedi, go to the dark side. Okay? Always go to the dark side where you can. So, there we go. So there's 2 that way. And set my seam. And like I said, I've only did it this way because mine's directional, right? If you've got non-directional, as you can see, they'd be exactly the same, but I want my wales to look the right way up. Okay, so we're going to start with one set. We're going to start with this set first. Okay. Again, if it's non-directional, it doesn't matter how you do this. And I'm going to take, so I'm going to be working with the coloured fabric. So I want 2 to start with of my coloured 4.5s. And those are going to go on here like this. So can you see? So they're enclosing this bit here, like that. So one like that, and one like that. Okay, and I'm going to then take those back to the machine and stitch those. Okay. He hasn't come in and give me the thumbs up. It's because I'm filming. He doesn't dare. But I'm really, really hoping that's what it is. It better be. There we go. Okay. So what we have now is a little like square block like that. Like that. Okay. And again, I'm going to iron it out to the dark fabric. Like that. And like that. Okay. There we go. So, what have I done there? Did I do that onto the wrong side? Oh, I might have done that on the wrong side. Yes, I did. Hang on a minute. Right, we're not going to use that one. I did that one on the wrong side. There we go. That one needs to go like that. Oh, I did as well. Phooey. Right, okay. So don't do that. Make sure that they're lined up properly. So can you see, I want the colour on the left-hand side and my background, colour on the left-hand side of my background, and that's going to go on like that. I sewed this edge instead of this edge, which turned it round the wrong way. I'll unpick that in just a second. It's because I was getting all excited about my delivery, wasn't it? There we go. There we go, that's better. So that's about the same. No, I've done it again. How am I doing that? Oh, excuse me, ladies, I'm having a funny 5 minutes. Right, these 2 are the same, so that's okay. I'll unpick that one. Maybe it's that one I did wrong. So, right, hopefully, guys, you can see I've got that like that like that, and they're both on the bottom. Okay, now you want to grab your 2 of your background 4-inch squares, and they are going to go on this side here. Okay, so can you see it goes background, colour, background. Okay, not this side, you want it over this side. Okay, so I'm going to do that on both of those. So I've got like that. Okay, I'll get this right in a minute. See, this is what happens when I get distracted. My brain goes into 7,000 different places. You need to put me blinkers on like that. There we go. So that one's right, and that one's right. Here we go. Bring that over. Like that. There we go. Right, back on track now. Here we go. So that one goes like that, And then that one goes like that. There we go. And then you want your 2.5 by 6.5, and this is going to go here. Okay, like that. So you're enclosing, so you've got background, you've got like an L of your colour and then an L of your background. Okay, so that one's going to go on like that, and this one's going to go on like that. Okay.
Maria, can you turn the pieces to us?
Yes, sorry, lovely. Sorry, yeah. So there you go. So that's what I've got like that at the minute. And then I'm going to put this one on the bottom like that. Okay.
And then Jenny asked, can you repeat that bit, please?
Which bit, lovely? So, let me show you. So what you should have on this one is a background and a coloured with a coloured one on the bottom. And then you're going to put a background to the right hand side. So you see it goes background, colour, background along the top. Okay, and now we're going to pop this one under here. Yeah. Oh, I've got a dirty mark on that one as well. I'll show you again when we do the other bit. Okay, it's hopefully this will make more sense when you watch it back and you don't listen to me get confused. Okay, so there's the first quarter done. Okay, so again with this one I'll show you. So we started with colour and a background, 2.5. I put a 4.5 on the bottom, and then a 4.5 background to the right hand side here. So it goes background, colour, background, and then the 6.5 is going underneath. Okay?
She said thank you.
Cool. Hopefully that made a bit more sense rather than me sewing it the wrong way round. Okay. Down we go. So that is the first 2 quarters done. Okay. And the second 2 quarters are a reverse of this. So what you'll have on the second 2, and I'll show you obviously in a second when we make it, instead of it being a little L shape of colour within a background, the second one is going to be a background L with colour. Okay, so hopefully that'll make sense in just a second. So I'm going to have to unpick that one because I haven't got another piece. Give me 2 seconds, I'm going to grab my unpicker. There we go. Okay, I'll just quickly unpick this. Amuse yourselves while I'm unpicking. How you all doing? Everyone okay? Is everybody following this so far? Sorry about me messing that bit up a minute ago. But hopefully you understood what I was getting at the end. That's the trouble of doing it live, you see. And then I got so excited. Since last Wednesday we've been waiting for this delivery, and every day they've been promising it us. And I know they're busy and I know they're really stretched and stuff, but it's been really difficult, really, really difficult. So, because we've got obligations, and the fact that it's just arrived distracted me for a second. So, what we're going to do with these ones, what I'll do is I'll build them totally for you so you can see before I sew them. Okay, so where these ones, Joe, I don't know if you can come over. So where these ones have got that in the centre, and this is a colour, this time I'm going to have the blue in the centre. Can you see they're the opposite way round? I'm going to add a 4.5 to there. Okay, I'm then going to add a 4.5 there, and then a 6.5 to there. Okay, does that make sense? Can you see that that's the opposite of this one? So I've got these ones here. So first thing I'm going to do is add my 4.5. Sorry, I've got hiccups. 4.5 on the bottom there. Okay, I'm going to do that bit. Like that. Move these out of the way. Just press that one out quickly. There you go. So, like that. Okay. And then I'm going to put this one on here. It's all a mess now. We're out to unpick it. Give it another press. Okay, there we go. This one's going to go onto here. Like that. There we go. And then, again, just press that out quickly before I put the 6-inch on. And then the 6.5 inch is going to go on the bottom. Okay, like that. So, can you see? It's the opposite of this. Is everybody all right with that? Everybody okay? Everybody understanding what I'm doing so far? Even if I don't necessarily understand what I'm doing myself at times. Okay. So you would make 2 of that. So the rest of this, I'll just lie it out for you now because I'm not going to get you do the whole sewing thing all over again for you. Okay, because you don't need to just sit and watch me sew. So I've got 2. Can you see they're opposites like this? Okay, complete opposites. And I would do the same with this one. Okay, so I do that to that. Drew, you're okay with that? Can you manage? Yeah. So Drew's having to stand up to get the whole shot in. Like that. And then that one's going along the bottom. Okay, oh, I've managed to catch the selvage there, never mind. That would make the second one. So when you put them together, let me move this iron out of the way and put all this together.
Marion Lloyd said yes, thank you.
Perfect, perfect. So when you put them together, you're going to alternate the blocks. So you're going to put one like that and one like that. Okay, you can square them up. They should come up at 6.5. Mine are a bit wonky because I've done them all a bit quick today. So I've got light, dark, light, and then this one would sit over here with my dark in the centre like that. And I'm just going to tuck it in because we haven't got time to sew the whole thing. There we go. Tuck that in, and actually that selvage is small enough. It'll go in like that once that's all sewn together. And you're going to sew it together like that. No, it's not. That's wrong. There we go. Like that. There we go. Can you see? So that's what a one colour one looks like. If you want to play with the colours and the fabrics, you can change round with these ones. You could change the centre ones like I did here. Okay. So I changed up these ones. So on these 2, I did a different fabrics there and there. Okay. And again, they don't have to be the same fabric. They could be different fabrics to each other. Okay, so you can make it as scrappy looking as you like. It doesn't have to be one colour like this or even 2 colours. It could be. I would keep those 2 like as the same fabric and those 2 as the same fabric. But you could have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You could have 6 different fabrics on there if you wanted to. But I would definitely, play with it. Once you get the hang of it, don't mess it up like I did. Have a play. The only thing I would say that's important to think about when you're sewing these 2 together, okay, is nesting these seams here. Okay, so if I just put these 2 together, I would really, really want you to nest those seams, those middle seams, so that when it's opened out, you get that lovely continuation of line. Okay. Any questions on either of those 2 blocks, ladies? Are you okay with that? Sorry about my little mess up in the middle.
Maria said, don't know my left from right. Am I upside down?
Oh, love you. Watch it back at your own pace and pause me, and then hopefully you'll be able to put your fabrics in as we're doing it, okay? Remember that the written instructions, if you want them, are on the website, and I will email them out to you. They're £2 each. So hopefully you've enjoyed those blocks. Any other questions? Any ladies? Anybody's got any comments?
Linda said, pleased I kept up with you today. You
cool.
sew so fast.
Oh, yeah, I do. Sorry. But remember, I made these yesterday, so it was already in my head. I didn't have to read the instructions. I wasn't learning something new. I was just repeating it. So, you don't, it's not about speed, love.
Jenny said, unpicking at the moment, lol.
Oh, yeah. Well, I had to unpick as well, love, as you saw.
But that's it.
Cool. Cool. Lovely. Well, have a go at those blocks. Please, please, please do post on our Instagram or post on our Facebook page when you've done them and let me see what they look like, because I really enjoy that. Otherwise, it's just a very one-way street for me. I know you guys are there, but I don't get to see what you're doing. It's not like in class when I can see all the pretty colours. So so do post your finished blocks for me and let me see how you're going. And next week we're going to do... I'm not going to tell you what we're going to do just yet. I'm going to make you wait till next week. But I've got a couple of ideas. I'm going to challenge you just a little bit. It's all just straight line sewing, but I found a block which I really like and I think is really different. So we're going to have a little go at that, okay? And also it'll teach you a new technique as well, I think. So yeah, that's it. Tomorrow I'm probably going to be in the shop packing a lot of orders, but Sarah's going to be on and she's going to be doing zips. So she's doing zipped pouches and how to put a zip in a cushion, I believe. So she'll be on tomorrow. I think Dave's going to film. And then Friday I'm back and we're going to do some Moore's bags, which are really, really quick tote bags. And I'm going to show, and Drew's going to be this side with me, and I'm going to show him how to sew. So we're going to get him on the machine and show you how simple they are, that even an absolute novice can do them. Okay. So yeah, that's it. So if there's no more questions, no more comments, I will see you all on Friday. Cool. Have a nice Thursday, ladies. Do tune in to watch Sarah, and I will see you soon. Bye.